Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. Okay, let's start testing now. This test is relatively simple, so let's just put it here. We need to test directly here. We'll place a quibble here, and then we just need to give it a category. We'll give it XG simple WebP subsystem inside that subsystem structure. Okay, let's start it now and do a simple test. After the test, we'll walk through it for everyone. This is still relatively simple because there aren't multiple images and there's no indexing or storing this data. Okay, here we'll still use our kits to test. We have a kit board. Then we get our subsystem. This should be our web.com subd. Then we give it a begin. Okay, this way we can directly pass a delegate event. Right. We haven't covered blueprint nodes yet, but in this case, actually, this kind of delegate event is already sufficient. We give a survival result. We concatenate this string, otherwise everyone won't know what the string here means. One short, WebP. Then we give a result. Put these here. Then we execute it. Okay. So now let's execute it. We won't show everyone. Look, we drag a clowns into our scene. Like this. We execute it. It throws an error here, right? This error is quite serious. Let's check what the cause is. Let's take a look at what we are executing. Yes. Obviously, you can see this. It reports an error here. You can see it's clearly here. This edit is good. It's the error in interlines because our name hasn't been matched yet. So we need to match the name, and that's it. This is the destruction after the WebP work is completed. So regarding our name, it should actually be this name. It should be this name. Okay, that's it. Now let's test it again. This reflection information can help you check if any name is written incorrectly, etc. Good. Now let's test it directly. Open this character. Then click 1. I see our colon is missing. Let's check if our code is still there. The code is still there, but it seems like this level doesn't have this colon. The reason why there is no this level is because this colon is because we didn't click this. The save level option. This place, save level. Let's click 1 tier. It doesn't seem to respond, right? Let's click 1 again. Okay, so save failed here. Let's check the reason for the save failure. Let's see, every time you press it, it fails. Then let's set a breakpoint. Let's step through it again. We can see. Let's set a breakpoint. Place 1 after entering. Obviously, this place is true. If it's true here, that's not right. Let's turn it off. Then, when we enter for the first time, let's take a look. At this point, it should be false. It should go down to true, then register the callback. After registering the callback, we find this command. Then, at this place, skorkoban. Let's check if the callback for this callban has been entered. Obviously, it seems it hasn't been registered. It should be. This callback hasn't been activated. Right. The reason it hasn't been activated is actually quite simple. We seem to have missed the most important step. Yes, after we finish our work, there is an AF screen here. AF SRE scan touch request. We have an interface here. We need to request a screen job. We don't want the UI. We give it a force because we didn't call this, right? Right here, we didn't call it. So it actually didn't execute at all. And then we got stuck at this point. Now let's execute it again. Okay, now click here. Then click 1. Now we should be able to enter. We can see. Hey, it came out right. It can come out. And we can see. There is a web image here. This image is all pixelated. Yeah, obviously that's not right. Let's execute it again. If this is all pixelated, it means there is a problem with this channel. This channel should be problematic. If it's this kind of pixelation, it means there is a problem with our channel. It means we might have written something wrong here. The plugin here in this place, let's take a look. Okay, it should be that the underlying plugin here was written incorrectly. Then here it should be here. Here we go to this place. It's unlikely that we need to do such an inversion. Sometimes we need to invert, sometimes we don't. As for this specific scene, maybe you can use it, capture RD, or when dealing with some materials. When you read it's a channel, just be careful. I think it's pretty good too, because these issues might have been solved by me before. But when I write it again, I'll fully reproduce the troubleshooting speed for everyone, because you might make the same mistakes too. Look, this has already succeeded. Let's go back. Let's refresh it. Should play the latest version. Look, this is a WebP. Right, this is perfect. Okay, so we'll stop here for this lesson. You can press it a few more times. No problem either. Generate many images. This image is the previous mosaic, so there's no problem at all. Then our next task is to stitch together these WebP files one by one. And if there's still time, we'll cover this in this lesson. After we finish writing this part, we'll explain it to everyone. As for this underlying part, we don't need to worry about it. Let's erase it now. Okay, good. Let's take a look in a moment. Here, first, in the subsystem, what is the first thing we do? Actually, in this part, there is a lot of work to be done. We pass a blueprint delegate here, because it is a step-by-step operation. You cannot do it synchronously. Can you do it synchronously? Actually, you can, but you shouldn't do it that way, because it will block the thread, and it's a big problem. Then, after you do it this way, we first prevent it from sending multiple screenshot commands at the same time. So we made a one-step workflow judgment. Later we will use an enum to make a simple judgment. So here, or it's a part delegate. Then we get our gateway pawn. We add a screenshot delegate to it, and now we take a screenshot. Then in the next frame, usually we need to refresh this render thread command. And pause pro time avoid other commands. Then after we finish this part, then we almost take a screenshot. Then in the next frame, after it finishes rendering, it will give us our pixel data. At this point, we get our camera data, then we make a copy here. Why do we need to make a copy? You can see here it gives a reference. If you directly pass this data, pass this address to, pass it to our other threads, then when they reference this data, there might be problems. So we have no choice here. We just made a simple copy. After copying, we go to our own county. Then we can actually directly inject it here, because we don't have it here. This is a method of injection. After the injection is done, when it completes, we have the result. Then we use this method to call back to the main thread. Then the main thread executes this callback. This callback is the one we initially bound our own callback. This callback, you need to distinguish this. This callback is for the user to implement. And this callback is for our internal use. This callback may change at any time, but this callback will not change once the web is completed. During deinitialization, actually, we need to unbind here. Strictly speaking, this place needs to be unbound. Unbound. Okay, note that bind is not capitalized. Then this callback will be triggered. This callback is bound via ufunction. So this U function is actually this. It is this callback. So now our work is done. I just need to give you the result. And you know what? I just need to release this workflow, clear the resources, and then at this point call back to the blueprint to inform you of the result. And this half can also pass some other information. Actually, this is a complete workflow. Now let's draw a diagram and explain it again. Right.